A beautiful spring afternoon here in May. We are with you live. This is Series 180. So glad to be with everybody and glad you're able to take some time to join us and look back and take a peek at two teams from baseball history. It's awesome to have you with us. I hope you can subscribe, or if you just found us, that you can go through some of our videos of teams from the past. We match up against each other randomly. If you win, you move on. If you lose, we won't see you again. That's the simple rule we go by. It's a best of seven, and now the Park Baseball 21. The great game is our game engine. If you haven't heard of the game yet and you're a baseball fan, check it out. Definitely worth it. And today we got two new fun teams I think you're going to enjoy to introduce. Going to do it a little bit differently this time. We're going to go to Retro Sheet to actually look at the teams that I am introducing. Of course, Retro Sheet, one of the best research websites on the game, and also, in conjunction with Baseball Reference, just a great tool to have. And you should check them all out. They're vital to the history of the game. And the first team we're going to introduce, of course, is going to be the 1992 Philadelphia Phillies, a year before they would actually win the pennant. And surprisingly enough, they were in last place in 1992, a team that would go from last to first in one season. And this is before they actually got really good. But the talent is there for this team, not to be ignored. Looking at the team itself, Darren Daulton, the catcher, one of the leaders of the team, 27 home runs, 109 RBIs. And on Retro Sheet, when you lead the league, it's in bold. So he led the National League in RBI in 1992 for a catcher. Pretty impressive. 109. You have John Kruk at first base. He hit 323, one of his best seasons. An all-star, 10 homers, 70 RBIs. Mickey Morandini, the little young, really not young, but, spry, I should say, second baseman, 265. He played with a lot of speed and good defense. Dave Hollins, 19 times a hit by pitch. He led the league, but he drove in also 93, which is important, 27 home runs. Juan Bell, 204, a rough year for him. Didn't play all that much, only 46 games. Mariano Duncan, a good player. Doesn't walk much, struck out a bunch, drove in 50. He hit 267. Lenny Dykstra coming over from the Mets, a big part of this team. 6 homers, 39 RBI. 301 average for him, stole 30 bases, and Ruben Amaro at 219 struggled a bit in right field. You also have Stan Javier on this team at 261. Ricky Jordan played in 94 games. He hit 304, drove in 41. Wes Chamberlain also part of the team. So the team building itself around Kruk and Daulton and Dykstra would be outstanding in a year, even if they didn't get along. As a team, they can get it done on the field. And looking at their pitching staff, Terry Mulholland, 12 complete games. He went 13-11 with a 381. Mulholland, a good left-handed pitcher, part of this rotation, which was really led by the young kid Kurt Schilling, who had a 235 and had a 14-11 record. He had his first big season on the scene. Schilling, somebody you really want to watch after in this rotation. Kyle Abbott also at a 321, but he had a rough year, 1-14, believe it or not. Kyle Abbott, tough times for him. Ben Rivera, he started in 14 games, 282, 7-3 for him. And there's Mitch Williams, the wild thing. First year really in Philly, I believe, and he saved 29 games. He had a 378. Always got interesting, of course, with Williams, and it'll be fun to see if he's able to close the games in any tight situations in the series coming up. Cliff Brantley, Tommy Green, Mike Hartley, Jerry Jones, some other names on the roster. And the manager for this team, going back here, they play, of course, at Veterans Stadium, and the manager, Jim Fergosi. So the Phillies, a good team to be, I should say, but not a great team in 92, winning only 70 games and losing 92. Their opponents are going to come from the early 70s. They are going to be the 1971 Where are we? The California Angels, 76 and 86. They also had a losing record, 35 and 46 at home, not very good at Anaheim Stadium, much better on the road. And looking at their lineup, Sandy Alomar, their second baseman, led the league in games played and at bats. He hit 260, 39 steals for the Alomar patriarch, I guess you can say. Obviously, we know about Roberto and Sandy Alomar Jr. This is the prior generation, and Alomar a good player. There's Jim Fregosi. He's managing the Phils, and we're going to see him as a player for the Angels, a very good player in his own right, but had a rough year in 71, only hit 233, and only 6 homers and 61 ribbies. Ken McMullen at third base, he hit 250, 10 homers, 74 RBIs. You can see the lack of power on this team. Jim Spencer, 7 and 63, 237. John Stevenson, the catcher, really struggled also. And Tony Gonzalez, Ken Berry, and Roger Repaz, a tough outfield that didn't play too well, and the average is very low, as well as the lack of power and production. A lot of grounded into double plays. So a really weak lineup for the Angels. Mickey Rivers, part of this team as well, a little bit better on the bench. Tony Conigliano, the famous Red Sox, he got into 74 games, hit 222. So a big issue here with this team. Their ability to swing the bats, not very good at all, which could hurt them here against the Phils. But the pitching is pretty good. Andy Messersmith, he's 20-game winner, 20 and 13, 299. Very good for him. Clyde Wright, 16 and 17, 299 for him. Also a good year. Tom Murphy, 6 and 17, a hard luck pitcher. He couldn't get a win to save his life. Rudy May at a 302, 11 and 12 in his 31 starts. Those are your top 4 starters: Messersmith, Wright, Murphy, and May. Eddie Fisher, part of this team, and Lloyd Allen, really the closer, I guess you can say, with 15 saves and a 2.49 ERA. LaRoche, Mel Queen, Ricky Clark, some other names. So the pitching led by Messersmith, not all bad at all for the Angels, but wow, is the hitting weak. They really struggled, folks. A team average of 231 and a total of 96 home runs as a team. So 2 teams with losing records, 2 teams that didn't do all that well. But believe it or not, the Angels did have the better record than the Phillies, so they'll get the home games. We'll play the first 2 at Anaheim in the early 70s before we head to the hard turf of Veterans Stadium for the middle portion of the series. Now, you might say, of course, the Phillies are the favorite, but remember, they're not that good yet. They're still trying to find themselves and still not winning games as you would think. We'll see what the Angels can do, and if anything, we've seen these best-of-7 series can produce all types of results. So we're ready to go. Again, it's the 1971 California Angels facing off against the 1992 Philadelphia Phillies. Series 180 coming at you, and teeing up game number 1. It's going to be Curt Schilling, the youngster, against Rudy May out in California to get everything started under the lights in Southern Cali. So we are ready to go. This best-of-7. Let's head live to Anaheim Stadium. Full capacity crowd for this intriguing series between the Phils and the Angels. Game 1 coming up. Top of the first is Tony Dykstra and Rudy May to start off this series. Great night in California as always, and this one is hit on a liner. It's gloved by the third baseman, but Dykstra will make it the first on an infield hit. We move now a little bit further down here in the first. Dave Hollins up with 2 outs and the man on first. And Hollins rips it deep to left. Just over the chain link fence out there in left field. And Hollins has made it 2-0 for the Phillies. Right off the bat here to open up this series and this game. A great start for them. We move now to the sixth. The Phillies threatening again, and it's that man again. Hollins at the plate with the man on second. And Hollins rips it the other way this time, into right. That's going to score a run, and it's 3-0 Philadelphia. They're playing very comfortably here behind some great pitching by Schilling, and it is 5-1 now as we move to the ninth. Almost nothing doing in this game for the home team. Ken Berry, the batter. He looks at strike three, and just like that, the Phillies take game one easily, completely drowning out the home fans and the home team, the Angels, in a 5-1 win that didn't take long at all. 2 in the first on that Hollins home run, and from there they added 3 more in the 6th inning. Hollins also part of that. He drove in 3, but Curt Schilling was the man of the hour here today. The youngster, 6 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts. He walked nobody, allowed no earned runs in his 6 innings of work. Wes Chamberlain, 3 for 3, also 2 doubles and an RBI for the winning side. May took the loss. He had a rough first inning with the Hollins home run, and after the Phillies scored, it was all smooth sailing from there. They did let up a run in the 7th from their bullpen, but they closed it out fairly easily and won that first game on the road. Always extremely important to set them off to a great start. So, after the Schilling great start, we're going to see Terry Mulholland, the lefty, try to follow up against Andy Messersmith, a very strong pitcher here for the Angels. California really needs to turn it around after a very silent opening game. So let's see what happens now in game 2 as the series continues. The Phillies up 1-0, and the Angels hoping to tie things up. Heading out to Anaheim, we'll go there live for the action. Smith against Dykstra on game 2. 72 degrees this evening, just perfect. And Dykstra's going to line a single to left field. Gets on base here early. And the bases loaded now for the Phillies. And Dave Hollins, the hero from game 1, up there. And Hollins is going to dribble one to the mound. Play at the plate is going to be in time. They get the force at the plate. A great play there by Messersmith to save the run. And now Ricky Jordan in a big spot. Jordan looks at strike 3. Messersmith weaving his way out of this first inning if he can get past Morandini. But Morandini lines it to third. Whoa, he hit it hard. But right at the third baseman, and the Phillies come up with nothing. To the third, Fergosi, the hitter. Fergosi got all of that. An outside pitch all the way to the wall, and Fergosi over the wall for a solo home run to put the home team up 1-0. Fergosi has better power than you might think, and he showed it there. Runners on the corners now in the 4th. The pitcher up, Mulholland, and he'll hit it right to the second baseman. The play made at second, but a bad throw. A run's going to score. They couldn't get the pitcher, and this game is tied on the air there. A big one by Alomar Sr. and Dykstra up there now with 2 outs. A chance to break this tie. He hits it to first with 2 outs, however, so that'll end the inning. But a needless run to be allowed by the Angels. We'll move to the 6th. Alomar, who made that error, now trying to make amends here. He lines one hard to center field. Dykstra won't get it. Right off the top of the wall. Moving on his way to third is Alomar with a big leadoff triple here in the 6th inning to give a big chance now for the Angels to come right back and tie the score. Fergosi, the hitter. And he'll hit it, but right back to the mound, and the play's made there. So that's the first out. Mo Holland, very good off of the mound. And here's Jim Spencer. Spencer will line this one. That'll drop for a hit. And the Angels take the lead 2-1 on the run scoring single by Jim Spencer to the 7th. Dykstra up with the man on. Mel Queen has come on the pitch for the home team. And Dykstra lines this one hard into the outfield for a single. First and second, nobody out here for the Phils. They're looking good. And Johnny Kruk up there. Kruk looks at strike 3, however, unlike him to take a third strike. And Darren Dalton now the hitter with 1 out. Dalton will walk, so the Phils load the bases here. And it is now Dave Hollins up there. It's a 2-1 game, 2-2 pitch, infield in. And Hollins will go to third. They'll have a play at home. Relay to first. Great double play by the Angels. Outstanding defense. We hit the stretch, and the Angels lead the game 2-1. Ricky Jordan now, we're to the 8th inning. Lloyd Allen, the pitcher. And this one's to second. Should be playable. Alomar's got it for the out. Wes Chamberlain now the hitter with 2 outs. Chamberlain is late and he strikes out, so that'll end the frame. 2-1 we move to the 9th. The Phillies down a single run. It is Dave LaRoche on to try to close it. Ruben Amaro at the plate. He strikes out on the pitch way out of the zone. A lot of movement on that pitch. 1 out now for Dave's front Swem. Swem is late and he strikes out. Whoa, does LaRoche look good on the mound here in the 9th? And Lenny Dykstra up there with 2 outs. And he'll hit it back to the mound. LaRoche the play. And there you have it. A 2-1 win for the Angels. A great ball game. 2 even the series. The Angels saying we are here to stay to compete. And both these teams split the opening 2 games on the West Coast. A great pitching game there by Messersmith. He only went into the 6th. Mo Holland, he pitched 6 decent innings. Only allowed 2 runs for him. No walk, nobody. His usual pinpoint control. Jim Spencer, 2 for 3 for the winning Angels. And you have LaRoche with a great 9th inning, saving the game. And Jim Fregosi hit the home run for California to get them on the board. And the 1-1 tie was broken, and the Angels held on with some outstanding relief pitching to go along with Messersmith. And there you had a big error by Alomar that made a difference in this game. 2 errors in total for the Angels, and that makes it now a split after the first 2 games of the series. All the action now moves all the way to the other coast, out to Philadelphia and Veterans Stadium. The hard AstroTurf and the rowdy fans in Philly welcome the Angels. It is going to be Kyle Abbott for the Phillies, a surprise starter maybe, going up against Clyde Wright. Game 3 to see who can take the advantage in this series and get a heads up here, as I'm sure the Phillies want to keep the momentum going and defend their home field. So it should be fun. Let's head out to the city of brotherly love for game number 3 in this best of 7 between the Angels and the Phils. Game number 3, here we go. Ready for the action. It is Alomar up here in the first inning against Abbott. Here's the pitch. This is hit to third. Hollins has got it. A long throw to be made. And Alomar beats it for an infield single here. We move to the second, however. Cowan's the hitter. Cowan lines it right back up the middle for a base hit here, and the runner's going to head to third, and the Angels got runners on the corners here against the Phils with nobody out in the second. Ken Berry has a chance, and Berry's going to ground this one too short. They made at second, relay to first. It is in time. A run does score on the double play, so the Angels will take the lead. Now they lead it 2-0 to the 4th. And Dave Hollins is the hitter with Clyde Wright now coming in to continue pitching. And there's a single by Hollins with the man on. So first and second here. Tying runs on the bases for Ricky Jordan. It's 2-0. Jordan will line this one to center field. That one's got some carry. That's a base hit. So the Phils are going to go ahead and load them up here in a huge spot with one out. And Mickey Morandini at the plate, a good handler of the bat. Morandini, however, hits it to short. They get the one. Relay to first. Double play for the Angels. Outstanding defense. The Phillies get nothing. We move to the sixth. It's 2-0. Wright still on the mound. Here's Dykstra trying to get the inning started well. He hits it to first. That's going to be a tough play, and Dykstra too fast. He gets aboard. He's a threat to run, and Johnny Kruk, the hitter. Kruk hits it deep to right. That ball is going to be caught, though. A great play by Repos. He makes it, and that can't feel good diving on the turf, I'll tell you. We'll move to the seventh. And Barry Jones pitching now to Jerry Moses, who goes into the gap and deposits the baseball there with 2 men on. The Angels are going to add to their lead here. It's going to be a triple, 4-0 California. Big hit here by Moses, splitting the outfield like the Red Sea. And now we move to the bottom of the seventh. Big time needing a rally are the Phils, and Morandini's going to lift this one to left field for a base hit. So 2 men on here with nobody out, and Chamberlain the hitter. Chamberlain will go to first. Play will be made at second. Here's the relay. Great D again by the Angels. Double play. And they've just played outstanding today on the road. We move to the ninth. 2 outs. And Mel Queen facing Joe Millette with 2 outs. Full count. Here it comes. Strike 3. The Angels take game 3 and do it well. They now have started to pitch well and play some great defense. We knew the hitting would be an issue, but not the defense and the pitching. They are looking good, and they went on the road with some boos scattering the air in Philadelphia. Clyde Wright goes 7 strong, 3 Ks, only 1 earned. Kyle Abbott, he is the loser. He allowed 6 hits and 2 earned runs. And Billy Cowan, a big RBI there, a big run score, I should say, 3 for 4, and no home runs in this one. It was a 3-run 7th inning for the Angels. That really made the difference, and they were in control from the early innings, never trailing, and doing it with an efficient pitching job on the mound by Wright and the pen. So California rebounds after the loss in Game 1, and they mean all business now as they look to continue to forge forward in this series and see if they can now continue their momentum to win a 3rd game. Ricky Clark will take the mound for the Angels against Tommy Green, the left-hander, who really needs to perform as the Phillies want to bounce back and tie the series up. So everything continues to excite and intrigue us in this one. We'll see what happens now from Veterans Stadium as the series keeps rolling. Game number 4, it is the Phillies who are trailing the Angels 2-1. Green against Almar start off game number 4. And the Angels keep it going here on the road. And there's a good start. Almar was quick to get. And he'll lead off here with a double to start off this game. See if he can come around here to score. He's on third. Runners on the corners for Roger Lopez, who goes to right field and does get the Angels on the board. 1-0. Lopez, an RBI single off Green. And the Angels still coming. Here's McMullen. McMullen goes to second. Play made there. Relay to first. A double play to end the inning. So the Phillies reduce the damage to only 1 run. To the second we go. Here's Ricky Jordan. Ricky Jordan deep to left center. That's going to roll to the wall. Runner already ahead of him. He's heading to third. He's going to hold up. So second and third, nobody out. The Phillies making noise here in the second. Mickey Morandini up there. Morandini to second. This is going to score the run, so we got a tie game. Morandini picks up an RBI. And now Chamberlain tries to give the Phils the lead. He will hit it to center. To the wall. It's going to be caught. Here's a good throw to the plate. But it's going to be late, and Philly will take the lead here at Veterans Stadium, 2-1. To the fourth, McMullen back up there against Green. All four, that's outside, so we got runners first and second for Cohen, who will hook this one into the corner. And the Angels are going to tie this game up on the Cohen double. 2-2 our score in the fourth. Another good game playing out here. And Barry up. 1 out, 2 on. And Barry will lift this one to right field. It's going to be caught. The runner will tag. It's a good throw. But late, and the Angels take the 3-2 lead. With 2 outs now, we move to the bottom of the fourth. Millette the hitter with the man on. Clark delivers. This one's hit to right. It's going to drop for a base hit, so there'll be runners on the corners. 2 outs here in the fourth inning for the pitcher, Tommy Green, who's going to hit for himself. And Green looks at strike 3, so Fergosi lets Green hit. Doesn't pay off. We move to the fifth. Dalton now up with the man on and 1 out. Full count, and Dalton takes one way inside. Might have even hit him. First and second now, but now we move bases loaded. Ricky Jordan up against Andy Hassler. A big spot here for the Phils. And this is hit the third, however. Play made at home. They get the force for the second out. Just what the Angels were hoping for. And Morandini in a huge spot. Bases loaded. He'll go up the middle, but there's the shortstop. He'll make the play. And the Angels again showing defense really matters. They get it done and hold on to their 1-run lead. To the sixth. Big problems for the Phils. Danny Cox has come out and Mickey Rivers up. Bases juiced. Nobody out. This is to Kruk at first. Plays made there. Relay back. No double play, but they get the force out. So Sandy Alomar now up. Full count. He lines a single to center field, and the Angels are going to get more runs on the board. It is 4-2 California. 5-2 to the seventh. 2 outs for Ken Berry. Steve Searcy's come on, and Berry wallops one deep to left field. Into the bleachers. 2-run bomb. 7-2 California. They've jumped all over the Phils. It is all Angels, folks. 7-3 now into the ninth. Dykstra up with 2 men on. He looks at strike 3. A beautiful pitch there. It is now LaRoche, who's looked brilliant in this series, facing Johnny Kruk. That one just misses a good pitch, but it was low, so the base is loaded, and the tying run comes to the plate. The fans get to their feet. Darren Dalton with a huge chance here. Full count. Here's the pitch, and he'll go a dribbler that'll be forced at home as the pitcher makes the play for the second out. So one more chance. It's Dave Hollins. 7-3 game, bases juice. This one's hit deep to right. Way back. But it is caught. A wonderful catch out there. Repa saves the day, robbing Hollins of a home run or maybe extra bases. What a way to finish this one, folks. It is the Angels who are showing the leather, and they literally swipe away the game here in the ninth, robbing Dave Hollins of a play out there in right field. Wow. What a finish. Let us catch our breath as Ken Berry goes 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Alomar 3 for 5 is having a good series. And Tommy Green, he was on there. He takes the loss because this team fell behind. He got hit kind of hard towards the end, but it was the bullpen that really let him down. Fisher gets the win for the Angels, and LaRoche gets the save. But boy, it wasn't easy. Ken Berry, we mentioned, hit the home run, and it was the Phils taking the lead early, but then it was all the Angels turning it around until we hit the ninth, and the Phils loaded the bases. Hollins was up. He hit one deep in the right and up against the wall. An unbelievable play by Repaz to go ahead and end it. And now, folks, the Angels have won 3 in a row. They've won 2 on the road, and they have all the momentum in the world, up 3-1, as they now look maybe to end this series. All they need is one more of the next 3, and they're going to send Rudy May to the mound to face Curt Schilling, who was brilliant in Game 1. Schilling's going to need some of that magic again here at home as frustration builds for the Phils. They're about to be eliminated unless they can really pull off a miracle. But let's see at least if they can defend their home turf. Or will the Angels continue to just play outstanding defense and really frustrate Philly and their fans? So game number 5, will the Angels end the series? Rudy May on the mound against Curt Schilling. Let's head out to Veterans Stadium. Sandy Alomar now leading off against Curt Schilling. So can the Angels actually sweep away the Phillies on their home field? Not if Curt Schilling has something to do about it. He strikes out Alomar on 3 pitches. With 2 on here in the 3rd for Jim Spencer. And Spencer will pop this up with 2 outs. That should be easy. But the ball is dropped. It is not caught, believe it or not. And a runner's going to score, and California gets a huge break on the pop-up mishap to take a 1-0 lead. Unbelievable as the Bluebirds come down here. And Roger Repo's now the hero of the last game at the plate, and he's coming through again, folks. A base hit here with men on. 2 outs. A 2-out RBI single to make it 2-0 Angels. 2 to 5th, and the Phillies are in big trouble. Mariano Duncan now facing Rudy May. He does his job, though, lines it to center. Runner moving to 3rd, so Philly trying to rally here. They got runners on the corners. 2 outs for Lenny Dykstra, who's been quiet this series. Dykstra will go up the middle, but that's going to be easy. You would think. It is. They end the inning, and it's still 2-0, 2 to 7th. Alomar up there looking for insurance. And he'll get just that. Alomar into the gap. Moses is going to score. Tally another run here for the Angels. It is 3-0. There is no holding back here by this California team. We were worried about their hitting, but they're doing enough to get it done. 3-1 in the 8th now. Dykstra up there facing Andy Hasler. Dykstra will line a single here to right field, so the tying run for the Phils will come to the plate. John Kruk, the hitter. He's been quiet, but Kruk will go down the line here in right. Dykstra on the move. A big hit by Krucky. And it is now 2nd and 3rd. The tying runs here on the base for Darren Dalton. Only 1 out. A huge spot here. And Dalton will line this one to center field. This one's going to be caught. Thrown to the plate is perfect, and it's not even a risk by Dykstra. He figures down 2 runs. Why risk it? So with 2 outs now, it's Dave Hollins at the plate. Hasler trying to get out of this 8th inning. Here's the pitch. And it is strike 3. He got him on the inside corner. A fastball looking. What a job by Hasler. And we move to the 9th now. It's been all Angels. They just get it done when they need to. And there's a base hit now up the middle here in the 9th for the Angels as they get 2 on with 1 out. Looking for more, but they won't get it. This is it now. 9th inning. Ricky Jordan against Archie Reynolds. The Phillies down 2, trying to survive in this series, but that's a late swing. Jordan is gone. 2 outs here for Wes Chamberlain. The Angels about to end this thing. Another strikeout on some heat. And California celebrates here in Philadelphia. They win 4 games in a row in this series. 3 on the road. All 3 in Philadelphia. And what a disappointment the Phillies ended up being here at home. proving to you why they were a last place team in 92, a completely different story than 93. Curt Schilling, he allowed 6 hits but pitched very well again, did not deserve the loss. He didn't allow anything, I believe, this whole series in both of his starts. Ray May, though, was very good. He struck out 9 and matched Schilling step by step. Jerry Moses, 2 for 3, 2 runs for him. And you see there the 2 runs for the Angels in the 3rd inning was the big one, the big spot. No home runs in this game. Let's head out to the 3rd inning and recap what happened here. It was an error that set things up, and Fergosi singled before Jim Spencer got a single that scored a run, and later on it was Roger Repos who got the job done and singled as well. It was a mistake that created the difference in game number 5 to end this series. So wish we had a more exciting one for you, but no, this is all Angels. They get the job done. They're hitting not very good to begin with, but good enough in this one. Definitely Bill Cohen, 474, 9 hits for him. Alomar, after a big error early, he came back with a good series, 3 RBIs for him. Ken Berry, 4 RBIs for him. And you can see here going down the list, Repos hit only 176, but made the defensive play of the series in that win in Game 4. Pitching-wise for the winning Angels, that's where it gets really good. Just some great arms out here. You see Messerschmitt didn't allow anything. LaRoche out of the pen was magnificent. Hasler did it even in the clincher. You can go from there. Rudy May had a decent series, and just a few people struggled like Maloney and Fisher. But the pitching for the Angels was the difference. Excellent performance. On the flip side, the Phillies just couldn't get the bats going. Dave Hollins, 250, and Ricky Jordan, the leaders there average-wise, with John Kruk as well. Krucky, 0 RBIs in the entire series, along with Dykstra. That says it all. They produced nothing for this team. Morandini, 211. Dalton, only 111. And he was supposed to be the force. Another player with 0 RBI. So Kruk, Dykstra, and Dalton did nothing. No homers, no RBIs. Amazing. Mitch Williams, didn't see much of him. Curt Schilling deserved better. 11 scoreless, but he got a loss as well, even though he took the Game 1 win and pitched very well. Tommy Green pitched well in the loss. Mulholland got a loss. He didn't pitch badly. And from there on, you can see Danny Cox struggled a bit, as did Barry Jones. But it really wasn't the pitching for the Phils to blame. It was their hitting and their defense that was not nearly as good as the Angels. So Series 180, anticlimactic. It was all California. They ran away with it. Embarrassing for the most part, the Phils on their home field and winning all 3. So Series 180 is finished. The MVP of the series, it looks like there's a few candidates, but they're going to go ahead and give it to Sandy Alomar Sr. A little bit of a surprising choice. No one really stood out. It was really a team effort. Alomar did well to bounce back after a rough first game. He scored 2, had 9 hits, a double, a triple, 3 RBIs. And the big thing, his speed was the difference here. 3 stolen bases for Alomar. Rarely see that in a series of only 5 games. So his on base was also good, even though he did not draw any walks. Alomar, a nice series, along with a lot of different players for the Angels who did a good job. So that's a wrap. We are done with Series 180. The Angels, the victors. Glad you were with us. Hopefully next time we'll get a more exciting and enticing matchup. Not that the teams are a problem, but we want to see series really be competitive, and the last few really have not been. But we'll be right back with you. Series 181 coming up. We're glad you're with us, and we're glad you joined us this time. Again, the 71 Angels taking care of the 1992 Phillies in 5 games. So long, everybody.